Good morning, children. This is lecture number 4 as we are dealing with the chapter number 4, ecosystem. This is the lecture for class 8, lecture number 4. So in the previous lecture, children, already we had discussed about the food chain, food web and food pyramids. Okay, three topics we had discussed in the previous lecture. These are the food chains and food webs, and other than that we had discussed about the food pyramids and some of the advantages of food web. Okay, now today we are going to take the topic that is interdependence between organisms. Now, as you know, children, the name is interdependence between organisms. As you know, we have studied about the living things, means the biotic component, and the non-living things, those are the abiotic component. Living means biotic, non-living means abiotic. Now, already we have studied about in the biotic component we had studied about plants, animals and small microorganisms. Okay, and other than in the abiotic component, means the non-living component, we had discussed just like a pond, forest, ocean. Okay, now if I ask you that without the soil we are able to survive, we are dependent on soil for our survival. We are dependent on water for our survival. We are dependent on temperature for our survival. All are non-living component, but we need all these things for our survival. So we are dependent on each other. Okay, we are dependent on each other. Now, few species if we talk about, if plants are not present on the earth, we are not able to survive. Why? Because already we had discussed in the food chain that because of plants only the herbivores are able to survive. We have discussed already plants. What are plants? Plants are the autotrophs. Autotrophs means plants are the producers. Producers means they are the only living things on the earth which are able to make their own food. If the plants are not there, food will not be available on the earth. Because plants are available, then only the herbivores animals are able to survive. Herbivores. If we talk about herbivores, if suppose I am pure vegetarian, so I am also in the category of herbivores. I only eat the plant product. I am herbivores. Okay, so we call them, we are vegetarians, but I am also dependent on plants for my food. Same way, some animals are also dependent on plants for their food. So they are herbivores. So herbivores are able to survive only if the plants are present on the earth. Now, herbivores, they are eaten by carnivores. And carnivores, other than that, one more thing is there, that is omnivores. Omnivores, what they do? Omnivores, they eat both plants as well as they eat animals. They eat both the plants, animals, even the carnivorous animals, they also can eat. So, the first, what we are studying here, that the carnivores, they are dependent on herbivores. Herbivores, they are dependent on plants. Plants, they make their own food, but still plants need for their survival, they need soil, they need temperature, they need water. Now, these are the abiotic component, but still plant need all these things. Now, there is a circle. When plants, they utilize all the things from the soil, herbivores eat them, then the carnivores eat them, and then carnivores die, omnivorous animals, they die. Again, they get mixed in the soil. They are eaten by small microbes. And that soil, again, it is utilized by the plants. So ultimately, we all are dependent on each other. So that is the topic that we are discussing now, that is the interdependence between organisms. Okay, so when the plants, they are producing their food, in this paragraph also you can see that plants which produces its own food cannot survive alone. Plants are not able to survive alone. They need soil, microbes to break down the organic matter in the soil and return the inorganic nutrient for the absorption. Okay, when the animals die, their body contain organic and inorganic material. So those inorganic and organic material are converted into small pieces by the microscope and they are absorbed by the plants. Second thing, pollination. As we had discussed in the previous chapter, pollination means the transfer of pollen from one plant to another. For that also plants need some agents. So again they are dependent on animals for pollination. They are dependent on abiotic component like water, temperature and wind for their pollination. So plants, they are also dependent on us. So we are interdependent on each other. So that is regarding the plants and animals. Now there are three things on which the animals, they are dependent on one another. Okay, now three topic you can see. First is the symbiosis, second one is the parasitism, and the third one is the predation. So one by one we are going to take those topics. Now very important topic is symbiosis. Now symbiosis is simply these three topics that I have told you: symbiosis, parasitism, predation. These are the you can say the animals, they are dependent on one another. They are interrelated. How they are dependent on one another? So first we take the symbiosis. Now symbiosis is the interaction between the two species, any two species. Okay, when they interact. So in this case both the species are benefited. Benefited means no one is at lost. In the process of symbiosis, both the species are benefited. Simple example, plants and animals. Plants, they are dependent on animals. Animals are dependent on plants. So plants are not harming animals. Animals are not harming plants. Plants needs animal for the pollination, for the dispersal of seed. Same way, animals, they also need those plants in the form of juice or in the form of fruits or vegetables. We are eating those parts of the plant. Now there is one example that is called lichen. Now what is it, lichen? Lichen is when it is a good example for symbiosis in which fungus and photosynthetic algae, they are living on the barks of the tree. Suppose this is the bark of the tree. So lichens are present on the bark of the tree. And what are those lichens? These are the fungus plus algae. And fungus, whatever the fungus produces, algae utilize that. Whatever the algae produces, fungus utilize them. So they are not harming each other. They are helping each other. So that relationship is called symbiotic relationship. So how we are going to explain symbiosis? Symbiosis is the process in which two species are involved and they are interdependent on one another and none of the species is harmful by each other. So this is called symbiosis. One more example I would like you to give because the example is not in your book. This is simply about the rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria. Now this is a plant, suppose. Now some of the plants, suppose this is a plant. These are the roots. Now some of the plants, they contain nodules. Nodules contain nitrogen. Now this nitrogen converts into nitrates. And those nitrates are utilized by the plant. Now these nodules, we call them nodules, they are present in the leguminous plants. Leguminous, just like peas. Leguminous plants contains nodules. Nodules contain nitrogen. Nitrogen get converted into nitrate. And those nitrates, they are used by plants. Okay, and they are very beneficial. They help in the proper growth of the plant. Now, these leguminous plants, they contain one bacteria that is called leguminous bacteria. Now, because of those leguminous bacteria, the nitrogen is converted into nitrates. Now, these are bacteria. Those bacteria, they are helping the plant for their growth. So, they are helping the plant, and even they are getting their food from the roots of the plant. So, they are benefited from each other. So, that is symbiosis. Now, the second topic that we are going to take now is parasitism. Now, parasitism is also a process in which one receives, two species are involved in this. One species receives the advantage while the other is at lost. Okay, now the host is at loss. Simple example I give you, children. Mosquito comes and sit on our body parts and bite us. So when the mosquito is biting us, we are host for that mosquito, and mosquito is like a guest for us. It comes to our body and bite us, and it is harming our body. Okay, so when the mosquito is harming our body, so we are not getting any benefit from the biting of mosquito. Same way, if we talk about, we have heard that small children in their early age, even the persons, if we are not taking proper hygienic condition for heating food, sometimes we get worms in our body. So those worms, whatever we eat, those worms eat those things, and as a result, the person's body become weaker day by day. So what are those? These are the simple example in which the host is at the loss and the other organism, the partner, the parasite, is at advantage. It receives the advantage. So what is parasitism? So parasitism is a process in which, you can say, it is a type of interaction in which one partner receives advantage while the other is at a loss. That process is called parasitism. I have given you the example of malarial parasite, that is Plasmodium. Other than that, I have given you the example of worm. So you can say human liver fluke. That is a worm present inside the body of the organism. So these are the two examples that you can learn. Other than, there are many examples are also there, just like a snail and a fish. They need each other for the completion of life cycle. The parasite harm the host, and because they harm the host, so in this way, how they are harming? They reduce their revival, they reduce the time span of their growth as well as the reproduction of the host. So that is a parasitism. Now the third process is predation. Now what is predation? Predation is related to prey. Okay, prey, as we have seen that sometime eagle comes. Eagle is flying. Eagle has very sharp eyesight. Whenever it wants to eat the food, it comes and catch the prey and eat the prey. So what is predation? A predator. Predator means who catches the prey, catches and kills the organism for food. Predation is nature's way of transferring energy. Simply a simple example I am going to give you. Suppose a tiger is chasing a deer at a very fast speed, and once it catches a deer, it is going to eat that deer for a food, because deer is as a food source for the tiger. Now finally the tiger has satisfied the hunger, and the prey he has already eaten. Now what predation is? The whole scenario is predation. In predation, there are two characters of two species. One is the prey, another is the predator. Okay, already given in your book. One is the predator, another is the prey. One is the prey, another is the predator. When we talk about the prey, it is the deer. I have given you the example of tiger and deer. So deer is a prey and tiger is the predator. So the tiger is going to eat the deer. Deer is a grass eating animal, whereas the tiger is the carnivorous animal and it is a stronger animal as compared to deer. So always the prey is at a loss. In this case, always the prey is at a loss, and sometimes it loses its life, whereas the predator always wins and satisfied the hunger by eating the small animals. So this is predation. So what is predation? How can we explain predation? Predation is a kind of direct food relationship between two species of animals, in which larger species called predator attack, kill and feeds on the smaller species called prey. Okay, I will give you that definition also in your dashboard. So we had discussed today, children, and we are discussing now the three processes, how there is a interdependence between the organisms. So we had discussed about symbiosis, parasitism, predation. These are very, very important topic. So you have already in your book, I have given you in the video also the definitions. I will give you as a homework in your copy, and the dashboard you have to copy it in your copy, but please read them carefully. Next topic we will take in the next chapter. Thank you, children.